Hey everyone, how's it going? It is your pal Sal here. So today, I apologize for this very clickbaity title, but I in a sense don't, because I want you to watch this even though I think it's more than what it seems. So recently, the Justice for Living Proof campaign happened for Cher, and it was very successful, you know, making the album go #1 on iTunes. I don't think it went to #1 in America, but I do believe it went to #1 in some other countries, which is great, amazing, so cool. But here is something that, I didn't have a problem with it, but it was something I thought. Living Proof was a very successful album. Like, to say that it was not successful is not true. So it did deserve justice, but it didn't, like, need it. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing, is that Cher has a vast amount of albums. I have not, you know, I should look that up real quick while I have you guys here right now, because Cher has many, many albums, and I believe with Dancing Queen, and here, I just want to make sure I get this, because I'm going to get this right if it kills me. So Dancing Queen, which was her most recent album, was her 26th studio album. So keep in mind, that doesn't include greatest hits albums and all that. That doesn't even include the Sonny and Cher albums. So yeah, there's a lot of Cher material out there. And unfortunately, during the 70s, until about 87, I believe, Cher was very unsuccessful with her studio albums. She had a little breath of life in 1979 with Take Me Home. That song was a big hit. And the same year, she released an album called Prisoner. Love that album, love the cover. And it was not as successful. And then she didn't really get success in terms of music until 87, when she released her self-titled album Cher, which had, you know, I Found Someone, the 1987 version of Bang Bang, and the, what was it, We All Sleep Alone. So during the 70s, Cher probably released her most interesting albums, I would say. And some of them, at least I believe, actually no, none of them. It's really up before this. So there's some really cool albums, but we're talking about a specific one today, and this album is called Stars. So this album is beloved in the Cher community, and I was introduced to this album because of my cousin, and I found out about this album through sheer, like, just coincidence. When I was organizing my music, when I imported it into my computer, I just looked up, you know, I was importing the album Love Hurts, and it was like, there's a, like, thing on Wikipedia that says, Love Hurts was previously recorded for Cher's 1976 studio album Stars, and was re-recorded for the 1991 album Love Hurts. And I was like, oh, so she did it twice? And about a year, maybe not a year after that, but like my cousin gave me this. It's not this exact one, but he gave me a copy of Stars on vinyl, so thank you for that. But what's really crazy about this album, so just to give you guys a little context, this album was released on April 19th, 1975, so it is 45 years old as of 2020. Crazy. And this was her first album she ever did after her divorce with Sonny. And also in context, the album that was released before this was Dark Lady. So big hit, big album, and this album, it just did not do well. And what's crazy about that is that this could honestly be one of Cher's best albums. And the reason why you've never heard this album, because after this there were a couple albums entitled I'd Rather Believe in You, Cherished, get it, Cher-ished, pun. She also did an album with Greg Allman where they created like a band, and it was called To the Hard Way, a great album if you ever want to take a listen to it, it's really cool. And then there was another one, she tried to do another band and released an album called Black Rose. Some bops on that album, I can't lie. But realistically, this album could qualify as one of Cher's best and one of her best vocals, and all of these, aside from Black Rose, because Black Rose did see a CD release, none of those albums have ever been reissued on CD or digitally on streaming or iTunes or anything like that. And I think this, I don't know if it's completely true, but on Wikipedia, again, you know, you can't always trust Wikipedia, but apparently Cher owns the mastering rights to all these albums, and either she doesn't want them released, or she just doesn't really care to have them released. Release them for the love of God, and I hope that this video maybe gives a little publicity to it, because I would love to say we need to start a Justice for Stars campaign, but we're never going to be able to get this unless it's released on the iTunes chart. So the cool thing about this album is that this is what we're here to talk about specifically, is that there are many amazing songs on here. Just to give you some ideas of what to go and listen to. Oh, notification. Listen to Love Enough, Bell Bottom. Honestly, this whole album, I really love Geronimo's Cadillac, the original version of Stars, or I mean the original version of Love Hurts. There's just really some really cool songs in here. Like, I even have like a bootleg CD of it that my cousin also gave me as well. And I enjoy having this as well too, because I like to have it on my phone. And so we're going to talk about this one specific song on here called Just This One Time. And the reason why we're going to talk about this right here, right now, is because this song features Cher's highest note ever recorded. And this note, so we're going to, just to give you a little context, from everything I can find now, even though I am a graduate of school, or a graduate of musical theater, I'm not the greatest at sight reading and notes. That was never my strong suit. But what I've been able to find is that in this song, Cher hits an F6. So I'm gonna play it for you guys right now, and I want you to listen to it with me. I'm not gonna play the whole song because I really hope that this inspires you to go listen to this whole song because it's incredible. But for now, we're just gonna go with just this. So here we go. We're gonna listen to this. All right. All right, we're gonna play it one more time. Okay, so here's the context I want to give you for this. This is Cher's highest note ever recorded on any form of thing. And I want to get this out of the way because on this video that this is on, someone commented this and I disagree, but I'm just gonna read it for you. And I'm gonna read it to you how I read it in my head. This is not a note. She just screamed in falsetto voice and then wobbled her head and voice a little. Screaming and yelling in head voice and producing a loud frequency is not actual singing or a note. She hit a frequency of a noise and not an actual vocal note. Anyways. So, I disagree with this because, you know, I firmly believe that if you were doing something healthy and, you know, you're not straining yourself, I believe you're doing your best. And if you hit a note good, and that's all that matters. And, that sounds pretty freaking good. It's only ever been done in a studio. There is a live recording of this, but it is lipped, because it was for TV, so not that big of a deal. But, it's crazy, and I just want to give you guys context about this being an F6. So I'm going to use our lovely queen, right there pictured, Miss Mariah Carey, the queen of whistle notes, and I want to show you guys what an F6 sounds like in Mariah Carey's vocal range. So here we go. It's the same note in the Dream Lover song, or not Dream Lover, I'm an idiot. What's that? Can't Let Go, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. So, Can't Let Go, that's the same note, the high note in Can't Let Go. And it's the same Dream Lover note. And apparently in Motions, although I don't think that was the original key. So let's listen to Cher do it one more time. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, our girl did that on this album. And so, I mean, I guess I don't really know what to say because, you know, do I think that this lies in Cher's actual vocal range? At the time, I don't think it would. I'm going to count out now because, you know, not to say that I think her vocals are bad or anything, but she is older and I don't think she has possesses that high of a range. She was very young when she did that. So, but, yeah, so I think that that is pretty freaking cool though, because I mean there's a lot of singers who are very high and we don't really have whistle notes of them singing. And people can argue all you want and say that this is not a whistle note and it really doesn't matter, but it's pretty freaking cool. And my main goal of this video is that I want you to end this video, go on YouTube. This whole album is on YouTube. Like, it's easy to listen to. You just gotta maybe put a little effort if you want to put it on your phone. And just listen to this album. It's incredible. I give this album my highest regard. One day I would love to do a reaction for you guys of just me listening to this album. It's like it's a shame that it has never been released on any form of digital media because this really deserves a second life because, again, as I said, this album did not do well at all in any form. Sadly, I believe that it charted on the Billboard 200 at 153, freaking crazy. Cher did her best to promote it, but again, it just didn't really, it didn't pan out. And I hope that if anything you take out of this is that you go and listen to Stars. That's the main thing that I wanted you to get out of here. You get to hear that whistle note. You get to hear many other cool notes because it's very rare. And because, you know, Cher is a contralto. Beautiful contralto. But it's very rare when we see her go up into her higher, softer register. We see a little bit of it in It's a Man's World. But, and we heard a little bit of it actually in Closer to the Truth, I think, with Sirens, but we really didn't get a whole lot of it in Dancing Queen. But it's really cool when she does that, because, I mean, she has such a cool voice that why wouldn't I want to hear it take on multiple aspects? So, again, all I want you to take out of this is go on YouTube, go listen to Stars, fall in love with it just as much as I have, and let me know how you feel about this album in the comments below, and I will see you guys very soon. Please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Salvador J. Rocha. I love it when you guys do that, and I will see you very, very, very soon.